Good morning and welcome to Waiting in Vain, Part 2 on Equa Television. It's today's live and Jemima is here, Joyce is here, Solo is here. My name is Tony J. Nakali. Thank you very much, everyone, for staying tuned, watching the show every now and then. Cast, crew, everybody, you're doing great. Joyce, what does it mean to wait in vain? It was a topic we started last week, and because of the exigencies of the office, we couldn't exhaust everything that it has embedded in it. So,
is the English for me? Okay. Well, you know, I'm really proud to be associated with you, right?
I said, get out in church.
Like this fight.
Prudence is missing on the show today, and
she's still trying to.
You won't be hearing no Queen's English today on the show. Actually, it's my standpoint. She's not here today. We're dealing with Buja girls and
waiting in vain.
I said you didn't hear the first time when I said it. Like last time, we had a lot of back and forth about the topic, how that there were angles that we attacked the topic, but today we hope that God helping us will be able to do more than justice to the topic and be able to see how we can round it up so that today's supposed topic can come next week if Jesus does not return. Because everything is looking like Jesus can come back Friday or Saturday or Sunday from the look of things. So a lot of people wait in vain, and I remember it was Joyce that said while we think about the ladies who are pained in relationship, we should also think of the brothers who ladies deal with in relationships as well. There are a lot of things that we just have to consider in relationship, because pain go both ways in relationship. Pain go both ways. You see brothers in a relationship suffering. You see sisters in other relationships suffering as well. And in some other relationships, you see both parties suffering. And some people have been told, I love you, I want to marry you. And they fell for it, and then they entered neck deep, and then they can't come out right now because they will be mocked, because they mocked people while they were made, while they received this fake promise, and fake promise. So now they can't go out, and they cannot announce it either. But people are aware because people are watching. It took a very long period of time from when you were told, I love you, I want to marry you, till now. It's lingering, and you can't go back to say, oh, he's moved on, or he's been because last week bulk of the things we said were people in a relationship making commitments as well as being in other relationships more committed to the foundation. So I don't know why you're roofing. You should spend more money roofing a building than you did laying the foundation. So, Joyce, over to you.
Okay. Well, sometimes one is tempted to ask a lot of questions when it comes to relationship. And I remember asking you that most of these issues keep reoccurring. Like, why can't we just deal with this once and for all?
Unfortunately, today I'm anchoring, so you can ask me. I ask the questions.
Yeah, I'm going to answer that. So, like, you hear people say, I'm in pain, when they express or when they explain their position of pain in a relationship. Most times I'm just quiet and I'm tempted to ask, where is the love that you were professing?
It's not supposed to be painful.
Yeah, so why is
relationship
it that
has pains in it, but it's not supposed to be a deliberate or intentional pain. And I think since you brought that up, not to cut you short, but we should be able to define the types of pains that we have in a relationship, because I know that there are self-inflicted pains. There are pains that are faked so that people can gain sympathy. And if you've been with your husband or your wife for long, you know that this pain is fake or this pain is real. I'm just doing it to either get attention or for you to tell me sorry, or for you to be able to do so. So there are different types of pains in relationship. But there are pains that when you face more than once, is a clear indicative that you should leave the relationship. Yeah.
That's just a red flag. So like you rightly said, some pains are self-inflicted, some pains are part of the challenges of life, and you find that even in marriages. But if you're able to define your relationship, most of the questions I ask about relationship, most time people hardly can answer, because I'm often bothered, especially about my gender. Like, you see a young lady that is doing very well, and you just feel that everything should just go smoothly, and you just end up in the hand of the wrong person, and then you adhere to the promises. And
in most cases, do you think they don't know that it's the wrong person?
Maybe they are overshadowed with the mushy feelings, and they couldn't.
The question is not answered. In most cases, do you think they don't know he's the wrong person?
They know. They're trying to pull the wrong person to the right side.
You know that when I get married to him, I'm going to. They say that there's no right man, just drag the idiot from the left. It was a post I saw.
Thank you very much for watching today's live on Equa Television. The rating of the show has been changed. We have been called idiots, and this is how much we can take on the show today.
No, I'm quoting someone.
Okay, you are quoting someone. I was about to end the show.
It was a lady that said that, see, they are no longer right men, just drag the idiot from the left to the right. So people find themselves in relationship, and they are just hopeful.
I'm sure Jemima knew that point. That's why she paraphrased it.
Yes. So they are only hopeful that he will change. He will change. I remember a young lady that we were telling that, see, you can give relationship advice, but the moment somebody toasts you like this, you have turned to fool. Like, because at that point, this very intelligent, smart lady, see, if she sits you down to advise you, but the moment a guy toasts her, hey, from the toasting, she has fallen in love, she has fantasized a lot of things, and you are looking at, it's not this person that is seeing all the, like,
this relationship
in fact,
coach.
you walk in church from Monday to Sunday, so you have all the information, but because somebody just toast you, and then you've lost your senses and all of that. So people always, a lot of young ladies always feel
but you
that
can't blame her. Love
change.
comes with foolishness, because yes, it does. There are a lot of decisions you make when you are single. These decisions will be nowhere to be found once someone engages you, once someone, like, not engagement, but once someone engaged you in a relationship, you find out that you know the right thing to do, but it's difficult implementing it. Why? Because there are certain things you see you want to gain off of the relationship, but these decisions or implementing such decisions will make you lose them. So it's not. That's why they say fools for love. Yeah, you hear that phrase all the time. Fools for love. It's not. There are so many things you do as a married woman, Jemima. There are so many things you have done to your husband. You'll be like, later you'll be like, do I love this man this much? Why did I even do this? You understand? But you know that is some foolishness that accompany being in love. And there's nothing wrong with that. When people say, I lost it, that was why I did it. When people say, I'm heads over heels. When people say all of these things, no. These are not the things that you did. These are explanation of the things that you did.
See my mumu button. He has pressed my mumu button.
Can you see the point? You know, we especially this is not to come hard on ladies, but ladies don't take time to dig deep about brothers. Even when they tell you, I need time to think, they are not thinking about the things they should think about. No, they are not. That is why they are in a hurry to say yes to a man. And I remember saying this last week on the show. The purpose of the relationship is not defined. The intentions of the guy are not well understood. You know, the only thing that you have is the words he told. And you bank on that to be married to a stranger. Or to be committed to someone you hardly even know. You barely met this guy. You know? You couldn't be more wrong. Like accepting a relationship, not even a relationship, a personality in the name of a relationship. Because most people are not in a relationship. They're in togetherness.
I don't want to be lonely.
Yeah. Joyce, what is a relationship? Is the word being related to someone explains the meaning of relationship. So are people really in relationship? When we say waiting in vain, are people really waiting, or they are just living in something? Because, sir, you come here for work every day. The person who had when people see you here, they don't ask you what you are doing here, because they know you work here. So there's something that you are related to that brings you here all the time. But imagine that we see a stranger here, and we start assuming, because we can see him just standing by the car park, we would assume he's waiting for someone.
Yes.
And then once it's 5, we are closing, the person is also going. And then the person is coming the next day. And then they are paying us salary by the 30th of the month. And then the guy is joining the queue. It's like, I want to collect salary. Uncle, you want to collect what? Salary. We that are even working, who have not collected enough. You want to collect from where? For what?
From where for what?
That's what people do. He was together with us, but he does not have an appointment letter that says, in real sense, we have employed you, and this is how much we are going to be paying you every end of month. So you don't have anything to use to take us to court to say, these people said this to me, and they are not keeping up, because they paid everyone else, but I was not paid. So why are you still in that relationship? We're asking a question.
Yeah.
Why are you still in the relationship? Love is not the reason. It's not reason enough to be in a relationship. Love is not even reason enough to marry someone. Because for a Christian, what is love? Okay, so are you saying that for a Christian, love is above God's marital commitments and vows? It's not. Until you have been able to define that, yes, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, I am going to be with you. You see, the pastor's child is finishing pastoral functions for me. But you see, nobody cares to even know. Most ladies, because the reason why I'm saying most ladies, they are the ones who wait the most. So they don't care to know the brother's ideology, his philosophy, what love means to him. They don't know. So when he says he loves you, you assume it was the same way, it's the same meaning as the guy you broke up with. No. The guy you broke up with likes taking you everywhere. For this new guy, that's not love. So there are a lot of things to consider, because people say, okay, we brought the topic waiting in vain. What are you waiting for?
Refinery.
Sir, they can marry you, but you are still in that waiting season. Because they marry you, no love, no commitment, nothing. You are still waiting. Sometimes, I wish that ladies understand how men are created and the idea of creating a man. Basically, God said that he should dominate. That's the idea that man has. So that's the notion men grow with. Okay. I am the only male child in my family. I have older and younger ones, right? But I don't see anybody older than me in the family. Do I disrespect them? No. There is a way I talk to my mom. Haba, no, this is not, I'm not disrespecting her, I'm being a man. That's how men are created to be. We are created to be on top of situations. When you bring a woman to be on top of a situation, you have lost it. And it's even wrong as a man. If the only time your wife thinks of you or your girlfriend thinks of you is when there is need for a provision, you have lost it. You have lost it. Think about it. Your child is sick. You took him to the hospital, you came back, and then they are asking, is this all you can do? What else can you do? But you see, women must understand, first of all, that if a man says, I love you, before you respond, understand what it means to him. That's the reason why you will or will not wait. Because people's reasons for doing things determine how people linger around them, how people hover around them. There are governors in Nigeria now, right? When they come from Abuja, you know they mostly live in Abuja. When they come from Abuja to their visiting state, when they come from Abuja to their state, there are some government houses. When you go to Joyce, you don't find a place to step. Why? Because the great man, the listener, the lover of his people, the fulfiller of promises and vows is in town. There are some other governors. They're in Abuja, they're in their state, they're in America, they're in Ethiopia, they're in Zimbabwe. Nobody knows and nobody cares. It's the same thing with relationship. There are people that are waiting to see their lover from work. There are people who don't care. If he likes, he should not come back. There are people who don't care. Your wife is back from work. You don't care whether... There are people who don't care. Now, it's not nature. You see, love is a golden rule. Even for Christianity, it's a golden rule. But you see, like is a matter of choice based on the other person's character. Most of the time, people avoid. There are offices here that you avoid. There are offices you avoid. There are offices you avoid. Why? It's not that the office is not part of the organization. No, there is a human being inside that has a character you hate dealing with.
Don't like.
Is in relationship is the same thing as well. There are men who don't like their women because of the character that they have suddenly generated. And it's the same thing with some women who suddenly stop liking their men, but they are still in love. But they stop liking them. There are things love make you do, the same way there are things like make you do. If you like somebody, you want to be around the person, you want the person close to you, you want to hear the person. If you love the person, if you love another person, you may not want to be that mushy with the person, but you want to meet all the person's needs and all of that. And it's difficult and it's terrible for love to be lived in the absence of like. Especially for people that have commitments. When I say commitment, I mean married, engaged, and all of that. We are forced to live in marriage in Africa. Why? Because of the mentality we have of it. But there are other countries, once you do the same thing that I don't like 2-3 times, you go back to where you're coming from. Yeah, I can't take it. You did it the first time, I forgave you. You did it the second time, I forgave you. Now you are doing the third time. No.
Can't take it.
Divorce comes only when there is marriage. Breakup comes when there was never anything.
People now are getting divorced in relationship because they are already committed. See, like you rightly said, I'm so glad you established, like we can even end the show at this point.
Ladies and gentlemen.
But no.
Okay. No, you know, your wish is my command as producer.
No, the truth is that waiting in vain comes when purpose is not defined. You know, it's often said that when purpose is not defined, abuse is inevitable. And that's what we find even in relationship. Like people just, like you said, somebody will just come to you and say, I love you, I want to go into relationship with you, and you are just jumping and happy. You don't understand what love means to this person. And you take your previous relationship, how it used to be, and assume that status. Yeah, and you just assume that that's what this person is asking for.
Posting things you are not sure of.
I said yes, he said yes. After a few months, we don't hear anything again. See, if you don't want to wait in vain.
Let me say this before I forget. I'm sorry. It's like it's just me and you that on the show. Somebody said this one online, that the relationship she's building, that the engineer on site has run. You saw it. That the engineer on site ran away with all the materials, so she doesn't have a relationship.
ran away with the side plan.
The side plan.
Some people change the relationship status to single and happy. It's complicated. Why will I be in a relationship that is complicated and I'm right there? These are the issues that becomes the waiting in vain. You are in relationship, you're not certain of where you stand, but you are hopeful that things will get better. And when people ask you questions, you proudly say, "To," and for now,
It's
this
to
is
English.
okay. At the moment, we are just. Did he say
Please
anything?
take your Hausa to the Hausa channel. Please.
At this point, I beg to keep quiet. Jemima and Sambu Solomon continue.
That's most of the time what women do. That men don't care. We don't like having conversations when they shut us up. As a man, you shut me up. I'm the one created to dominate.
Say, okay.
You are the one created to
let's
submit.
see. Okay. And then later she'll be like, this your quietness.
Are
is
there
too
good men?
much now.
Are there good
Like,
men?
why are you so?
Are there good men in this life?
Drag them from the left to the right.
Okay, well, for me, I feel waiting in vain a lot of times relating to relationship has to do with the mindset of the person. Maybe you grew up in a house where there was a lot of abuse from your parents. Already you have that mentality that when you grow up as a man, you're expected to be the owner, be the author and finisher of everything in the house. Your wife is totally under you 100%. She doesn't have anything to say, and that is how you will be. And your children also would watch you and do that as well. Some people grow up and see their moms being beaten, and so when they get into a relationship and the man is beating them, the people that are coming to help them, they are chasing them. Allow him, let him beat me, because you're used to it. You feel you are a gong. There's a woman that lost her husband. This man was beating her the whole time, but she was crying that he should come back and continue beating her. It's because of the mentality she had. So waiting in vain a lot of times has to do with your mentality, how you approach things. So if you have a negative mentality, even when people want to help you, you don't want it.
The idea of dominating as a man is wrongly understood by men.
True.
When God says you are the head, He didn't say you are a tyrant.
Head boy.
That's not the definition, sir. That's not the definition. People miss it. When you want to head like the head of state, they will deal with you at home. So if your wife wants you dead, it's just a matter of a minute or two. She cooks the food you eat. Anything you want at home, she brings it. So if she wants to poison you, you see, you dominate in love.
True.
That dominance is when they are hungry, you provide. When they need shelter, you provide. Whatever you need, you dominate in every area. But you see, there are men who say, my wife has to agree first. I don't disregard that school of thought. If you are that close to your wife, I can't do this until my wife agrees. Not until we discuss with my wife. Not until my wife agrees. In other words, if she says no,
Then it is no.
It's fine.
let me tell you the danger in that. There are pastors who listen to their wives against the Holy Spirit. They're still waiting in a relationship. This waiting is deeper than we think. It's not just somebody telling you I love you and he leaves you for 8 years. No. They can tell you they love you. They can even tell you we will marry in 3 months. They can even marry you in 2.5 months. And you are like, oh, my waiting days are over. They marry you, they keep you in the house. Then they go to the place where they are committed the most. And all you do is stay at home, manufacture babies, take care of the babies, and then he's wherever he wants to be. If God says that as a man you are the head of the family, that practice starts from when you are related before getting married. Why do ladies get angry? You didn't call me today, you didn't check up on me. They want to know if you have these qualities now and in the future. Because the man that his lady is asking him to check up on her, and he checks up on her, did not really check up on her. He did because he was asked to.
Simple.
So
And
it's
once he
not
gets
his nature
married-
to check up.
And once he gets married, he'll stop.
No, you see certain things, but if a brother loves you 40% before marriage, he will love you more when you are married. If he hates you 20%, he will hate you more when you are married. I don't know why some brothers marry and they say they were under obligation to marry. You see a very
I
big
think-
sign,
I think
and then they write correctional facility, but you say you must enter.
and see what they call.
And then they are taking food to somebody, and then you enter and say, me, go out. No, God forbid. They wake you up 4 a.m. and they say you are not sleeping till 2 a.m. They say this well that is dry, you have to dig 3 beside it to check if there's water. You start saying, is this how this is? Me, I want to go home. And they say, no. Here. Until the Oga Kwata of judgment says you can go home. You can't go. It's the same with love. Until the Oga Kwata of life says that I am calling you to glory. And even some women whose husbands have died, they have decided that that's my husband till I die as well. There's nothing like marriage for me again. But we have seen women at 70, they are looking for a man to remarry them. Waiting in vain is when you sit without promises, when you sit without assurances, when you sit even without hope, with assumptions that I will change him. I think it was you or Prudence that said it last time, that let me just get the man, I will change him later.
And you know, most of these assurances and promises, you can get all of that, like, but no action. Like, his action is not in tandem with words, like the words he has spoken. A guy will tell you, I love you, I'll get married to you, I'll blah, all of the things he will say it. In fact, he can even go a step further to even carry wine to your parents. Yet,
And
the
chicken.
intention is
And
not...
chicken.
Yes, and,
And
chicken and all of
chicken.
that. But the intention is not really to marry you, but just to hold you bound. Like,
Was it you that said somebody dealt with his girlfriend on the
yes,
day of the wedding?
he left. He planned the wedding, everything. He was in a relationship with her. At some point, they had issues. They parted ways. Later on, he came back and they started the relationship again. He proposed to her that he wanted to get married to her. She accepted. They did all the wedding preparation and everything. On the day of the wedding, while they were about to take the vows, it was his turn, and then the preacher was like, oh, do you take this lady to be your lovely wedded wife and all of that? He said no. The preacher repeated it. Maybe he didn't hear that. He said no. Then he said, are you okay? The best man came, like, what's wrong with you? Like, take your vows. The pastor was about to read it for the third time. He said she doesn't have to, that he knows what he's doing. That I said no, and he turned and left. His
He
friends,
walked out
he
the
walked
church.
out. He walked out of the church, and he said he's not taking her as his wife. He actually planned that to, like, it was a get back on her. So she probably did something to him, according to him,
Yeah.
before they parted.
So Joyce, the
was-
girls that are listening now, based on this story, what do you want them to learn from this story?
Truth be told, when it comes to relationship, always check actions beyond words. I'll always say that love is not a noun, it's a verb.
The doing word.
So if somebody comes to you and says, I love you, makes all of the promise, I want to be with you, I want to take you as my wife, what is his action saying? Is it contrary to what love is? Like, when it comes to that point where you have problems, you have challenges, how does this person react to it? Is this person only showing up when he wants your body? Or is this person showing up when you have challenges? Like, there are people in relationship, they will tell you that, yes, because I want to marry you, or I have even taken a step further to even indicate interest. So you should just be having sex, sleeping with each other, and then that is the love as far as the person. In fact, people tell you, if you love me, prove it. And the proving is in like this sexual relationship and all of that. That is not the love. If somebody says I love you, there are a lot of indices that you should look out for. Does this person watch out for you? Does this person encourage you in line with what you stand for, your goals in life? Like, there are people that, though you can be in a relationship and your goal, you might not have anything positive in terms of goals. Maybe you are just there living your like wayward life, and this person that is saying I love you is encouraging you, or you have some weaknesses, is not helping you out, but rather is pushing you into it. Then this person cannot help you in the future. So basically, especially for ladies out there, my encouragement is that beyond the words, let's check the actions. Are the actions backing up the words that they are saying? If no, then there's no point. Most times we just remain in the relationship holding on to the promises, and these are the things that at the end of the day hurt us the more. Like I had a friend that she has been with this guy, and we are in relationship now, and she too, yes, we're in relationship, but his actions are not in any way close to somebody that loves another. She's an orphan. Okay, she lost her dad, and then at some point she was in school, her school fees she couldn't pay. This guy works, he earns well. When the exam was approaching, she wouldn't be allowed to write the exam without paying the school fees. And she has been talking, of course, their relationship now, they talk about, and Kai, exam is starting next week, or I've not been, tough. I pray God provides and all of that. This is somebody that ends, he has businesses and all of that. And you say we're in relationship. So sometimes she shares all of this, and we're like, Kai, are you sure this guy, like, you can tell your problems to your friends and they are all out for you, not like they have any source of income. But this person that is in a relationship with you and you claiming to love you yet cannot help you. In fact, at some point she had to just open up to the guy and, can you help me with? And he did. How much do you want? He asked. And she said, and he transferred the money. Like, can you borrow me? That was what she used. And he said, yes, how much do you want? He sent the money to her. A week after, yes, a week after the exams, she lost her mother. And then the mother, as before the exam,
this is a true life
yes,
story.
she lost her mother. And then this guy, like the mother, it wasn't like she was working, because at some point she's a trader, but she became sick. So it was her brothers that were helping, assisting her. So at the point of the exam, the brother was able to raise half of the school fees. So it was the half that she was looking for. She didn't get. The guy had to just borrow her the money. So a week after she lost her mother, we all went to visit her. And while we were there, he called her, the guy, and said that that money he borrowed her, can he get it?
Did he
while
know that
they are
she
mourning?
just
Yes.
lost her mom?
So while she's mourning, he called and said that he would need that
Are they
money.
Plateau people?
No. From the south.
Okay.
And then I asked.
Are you sure?
Yes. I now asked her.
You don't have a parent that is from
No.
Massa,
They are just related to. They are close to
from Gomna.
Gombe
They
and.
are not known for that, sir.
Do you know your geography at all? You said people are from south and you are calling them. Is Plateau not closer to the south?
No, I mean this. Okay, let's just leave it there so I don't.
Did you pass geography?
No, I didn't.
No wonder.
So we asked her the question, who just called you? She now said, asking, is he aware you lost your mom like 2 days ago? Yes. She told her brother, and the brother went all out. He got the money, and she called him that she should just transfer, and she did. And he sent text that, thank you, I saw it. Like that, this is just one out of the many times that she has been in challenges, and we're like, you are in relationship with this person.
Have you ever heard? I think we have discussed this on this show. Have you ever heard about a brother who spent everything he had to school a girl, and then she grew up and said she would not
marry an illiterate.
How do you marry these two stories together?
So you see, like I said earlier on, actions beyond the words. Like, these are things that, how can somebody love you and then is irritated at the same time? I've seen a lady received call from a guy, supposed the boyfriend, and when she was done, she said, "Wow, walk away."
Meaning fool.
And you hear some say peak, like you hear them. So even as a guy, you are in relationship, you are proudly posting and saying this girl, maybe your name is saved with Michael recharge card, or Ademo house rent, or this person food, or this person hair. You have no idea. You are thinking that because you always show up and she tells you, okay, and it means that you have a good relationship, you will wait in vain. Because in the true sense of it, maybe she just keeps you for something else and she has another guy somewhere. That there are ladies that they collect from this guy and they give this other guy. There are ladies that will treat you like, I'm hungry, go and get this now, do this now. And the guy, I know a guy that kept showing up for a lady that she's a student and he will always go. The girl will be like, I want to sleep. She treats him anyhow and she's not interested, but he's hopeful. Every day showing up. Are you hungry? You go and buy, you cook. She's there lying down. He will do everything, do chores for her.
Where is he from? It's taking you time to answer.
If I say it, I might lose my job. Let me not say.
You have answered. Don't worry. You have answered.
So this guy will come. He will do all the chores. He will cook for the girl. And he's not interested, but he's always like, because his friends advise, even her friends. So
what can you say about such men? About such women who act like men? Because that's not a man. What is the motivating factor that will make a man to change his gender? Like, no, that's not love. That's not love.
Well,
the name love explains what it is. When you say love, I'm in love with this car. Everybody wants to check what car. I'm in love with Tiana. Who is Tiana? People anticipate good things when you say love. The name love, when you just say hate, by virtue of mentioning it, people just understand what it is. I don't know how people get foolish, extremely foolish, to remain in things that are not promising at all.
Well, I think Jemima said something earlier. I've been quiet, listening. I was.
You are not quiet. You are not giving opportunity to speak.
And you refuse to take the opportunity.
No. I can't rush like that because the point.
It's not your nature.
No. The points are really aligned and they are ascending as. That's
why I like you.
When he was quiet, where he was quiet.
I was thinking I'm here to take tea.
Take.
Jemima said something earlier. The issue of foundation, you can't take it out. Yes, some people is just because the way they are being groomed, not like that's the way they want, but it's just something
like a training
that they can't help. They just find themselves in that particular situation.
For some people, it's the total opposite as well.
Some people is a total opposite. But you see, when you talk about relationship, everyone on this earth has an attraction point. Some people have particular thing that they're looking for. And you see, it's for you to identify what you want and you go all out. That's some people's nature. They go all out. Once they see this person and they feel, I like this person, whether with good intention or bad intention, they go all out. We have to create that balance. If you are seeing somebody that maybe you feel, yes, this person
picking on solo. If solo starts with you, you will not survive on this show.
So if it's in your nature to be a kind person and somebody is treating you like he's showing you that he's not interested in you, you should continue because you grew up in a good home and you have good training.
No, what I'm trying to say, you see, no matter how good or bad you are in nature, you have a limit. You have a limit. Some can be good in nature and be tolerant, that they can tolerate something for 6 weeks. Some they can tolerate for 1 month. That's why I said you can't take away foundation and you can't take away nature on how someone is being created. That is why you say someone is sanguine, someone is choleric, someone is there.
I don't know all these things.
Yeah.
I don't care. They say that
phlegmatic, and the rest.
I don't care about these things.
You see, so that's the nature.
I decide who I want to be. Nobody will give me
I
an
wanted to
explanation.
give you.
You wanted to do what?
Nothing. Go on, please.
But no matter how you
Some
fall,
people
in the
have stopped
category.
fearing me. Some people have stopped fearing me.
I wanted to suggest.
By the way they look at you, and the way they look at by the way they look at you and smile, there's this fear.
Don't worry. The show will soon be over. I'll go back to being GM. Don't worry.
Okay.
Now I'm a common regular presenter. Don't worry.
My dear presenter.
Ay. They should warm
Let me
up.
enjoy the moment.
They should warm up letter-headed for me. A red pen. I'm writing. It's going to be a handwritten letter.
No, sir, it should not come on letterhead, please.
Okay,
It
but
should
I have,
not come on letterhead.
Okay.
Let it be on Fusca.
at least I have the next 15 minutes to also.
Okay. To round up whatever.
No.
She's still
So
ad libbing. Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is that you look at people's nature and then you look at their exposure. You know, the environment matters. You know, how people are being groomed, you know, determines how they behave in the society. You know, like she rightly said, someone growing up seeing the father going all out for a misbehaving mother. And he chose that path. You can't blame him. He feels that's the way to follow. Because he feels because the father is not reacting to the negative vibe the mother is giving. You understand? He feels it's a good part. But to some, he sees how the father beats the mother because she gives the father a negative vibe. He feels that's the way to treat a woman. And then when you go down to relationship, again, the generation that we are, what people allow to get into them, like what we read on social media, what people post to claim that is the right thing. You see somebody crying because of breakup or something in relationship, but in social media he's posting something different. Like he's celebrating as if all is well, but not all is well. People around know that that something is wrong. And you see, when you talk about waiting in vain, the way I look at it, if you talk about real waiting in vain, is when there is deceit. When there is deceit between the two people, because you talked about relationship. Are we truly related? And if you say we are related,
We are in a union.
we are in a union, and a positive one for that matter. And I would always say intention first matters. Intention. What are we bringing all of us on the table? If, for instance, I see a lady and I want her, I say I want to marry her, and I'm coming with a clear intention, like she said. After talking to me, she say, "Wow, idiot." But in my own, in the other side, I am being truthful, and I want her. Possibly, maybe I am thinking if everything works out, because I'm looking at it from the angle of faith. I believe, yes, you can't take God out of it. It depends. You understand? So when you look at it that way, and then you go all out, like I said earlier, whether you're going with a clean intention or wrong intention, it depends. But if you are going if you're going with a genuine intention,
So you know why I'm laughing this hard? Sambo Solomon has continued to hold on to this point that once your intention is clear, so if I have a clear intention and then the person I'm going to relationship with is full of deceit, I should hold on to my faith.
No, Joyce, but you must understand something. There are like the guy that says fool, the girl that says fool. After, do you have a way of knowing as the person being called fool? Do you have a way of knowing that you are called fool? If you don't know, you keep relating to the girl in your ignorance.
Of course.
You wouldn't know. You see, that is why sometimes when you have a friend that tells Solo all the things you say about him that are negative, that your friend becomes your enemy.
Yes.
True.
Do you not mean what you are doing? No, you do. You mean it. But you don't want him to find out. And you want to remain in the relationship.
Yes.
Why? Because of the gains that you make in the relationship. Me, I'm angry with people that they know this thing is not working out, but they remain in it. I don't care whether you are married or not. No. There was one time we were talking on this show and we were talking about divorce. And I think somebody said, as a Christian, you should not divorce and all of that. And we all agree because that's what we believe as Christians. But let me ask, okay, Jemima, your father is a pastor, right? Does your father preach to you or encourage you to divorce? No. Okay. But the day that your father comes home, God forbid, and he sees you beating and your head, like your scalp is open, they can see your brain, but you are still breathing. You think they will pray for you and say, Thor, just stay here. And since you are married to this man, you have to stay here till we figure out what went wrong.
You carry me out of that place himself.
So let's be careful how we interpret scriptures. Let's not leave people enslaved in things, and then we say the word of God says, the word of God says. No, sir. Sir, the word of God even gave conditions for people to separate. If it gets to this point, at this level, there's nothing we can do. However, if you separate, this is not what we're discussing today. But you see, this issue of waiting in vain, there are a lot of reasons. A brother, like Joyce said, a brother can declare his intentions and act differently. He can even act like his intention, but there is another intention hidden.
True. Like the guy that paid bride price on the wedding day.
But guess what? Guess what? Honestly, let me be honest with you. When people tell you, I have been in this relationship, I will give you my all, I didn't know he was. It's a lie. They know.
They ignored it.
They know. Sir, when you start spending time with people and you are sharing intimacy, it's souls that are coming together. Sometimes my wife picks up phone and calls me, where are you? You are not back home now. She felt something. It's not like she's trying to dominate. No, she felt something. And then I'll just start saying, look at this woman, are you okay? Do you know I'm a man? Why are you calling me to ask, am I your child or I'm your husband? No, it doesn't work that way. When two people start sharing things that are intimate, they start understanding each other even in their absence. Except if you chose to be a fool in that situation. By choosing to be a fool is, you see the signs but you ignored them. Okay. They tell you, be careful, lions crossing. You are driving, and then you say, wind up.
This guy paid, another story of a different guy. He paid bride price. He has been in a relationship with this girl, but her action shows that.
Please, they should give us the real clock. That one is not working.
Okay. The girl is really not into the guy, but he kept pushing because he was hopeful. In fact, he had to just go and do introduction, pay bride price, because he doesn't want somebody to take the girl away from him. But she had showed that she's not interested. And then after paying the bride price, everything, they were preparing for the wedding. Today he will come, he wants to pick her phone, she will drag it from him. Oh, let me just save this, let me copy this number for me. She'll just remove, the phone is either on flight mode or she'll change the pin. If he knows the pin, she will change it. And at some point he noticed there was a guy on her screen as a screensaver and all of that. But you are in a relationship and you're seeing all of that, but you continue hoping that you have a sincere heart, or you love the person, or the person is going to change. These are signs of waiting in vain. You know, the scripture says something about wisdom is profitable to direct. I think for you to avoid waiting in vain, you need wisdom. Wisdom from God. And you know, last week we spoke about street smart and book smart. Beyond this book smart, you also need to be street smart, because I said it, if you are not street smart, people will use your head in this our generation. People will so use your head.
Everything is driven by the street now. So
people will use scripture. In fact, people will even use scripture and use your head because they will use it to quote in a way that
it favors their erroneous lifestyle.
It favors them, and then you will fall to it. So you have to be sharp in your thinking. You know, when we talk about sharp, street smart, so that by the time somebody is coming to you, you are also decoding the message and also trying to see the point where the person is coming from. Like, wisdom is profitable to direct. It is that wisdom, is that knowledge that you have that will help you to know that, see, this person is like, this is the wrong path that you're touring. Even when this person shows interest, makes all the promises, it is the wisdom that will tell you, Kai, this action and these words are not the same. There is a hidden agenda. There are people that just come to you. Is it not to marry that she wants to hear? They will come and they will tell you, God told me. They know you're a church girl. God told me that you're my wife. Like I saw it. See, some go to the extent of joining the fellowship group that you're in. Or even if you're not there, they know you're the church goer. They will join fellowship group. They'll be very, so that you'll be seeing them.
But I've never seen any man join women fellowship.
No, they won't join women fellowship, but they will go for women fellowship programs, so that you still see them there. And
because there are young widows there and so men.
they cannot join.
Okay, so Joyce, what do you hate the most about waiting?
Well, waiting can be difficult. It can be really difficult, truth be told. What I do like about waiting is when purpose is not defined. When purpose is defined, then it's easy for you to wait. But in waiting, if there's no purpose, then I don't like that.
It feels like it's just 30 minutes into the show. Unfortunately, I can see the time is flying back. What do you hate the most about waiting?
It takes a long time. Whether the end result is negative or positive, it takes such a long time. Feels forever.
It's the time. It's the time.
Okay, you don't like the waiting, that period.
That waiting period.
Because there are a lot of things in that waiting period.
It's easier
It's like
if I know that I would have to wait for 20 years, for 10 years, but I am just waiting. I am waiting. I don't know if I am
No.
not.
When you know the date, then that means you are holding on.
Exactly.
It's not waiting anymore.
Yes.
You are holding on.
Yes.
When you know that there is a particular date, it's not waiting anymore. You are holding on. I'm holding on to
that
you
date.
understand, to that date. But when he's waiting, when you are waiting, it's like a test result in the hospital.
True.
They tell you it's going to take 3 days, and you say, I'm going to be here in the lab. No, we have a closing time.
So you have to go and come.
You are not on admission, so you have to go and come. And then, Oga, have you ever received a visa and they say you are going to the best country in the world, and then the flight is tomorrow? Tomorrow will feel like 10 weeks. It will not come. You will wake up 8 minutes after 12. You sleep for 14 hours, wake up and check time. 12 minutes after. You just keep checking. And at the same time, when you are on that long flight, you sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep and wake up. You have not moved 1 hour. The anticipation. Why? Because you know the direction you are headed at. But sir, when people make you wait and it ends up being waiting in vain, like all the time, all the money, all the energy, because you can't just wait in one place. You eat while you wait. In fact, the most difficult part of waiting is the patience. Like all of you said, is the patience, because that time means you have to be patient waiting. You know, and it's been today's live on Equa Television. Next week, Wednesday, we're going to be discussing who brings the most problems in a relationship. Is it the male gender or the female gender? If it's the female gender, why? If it's a male gender, why? It's going to be more like a debate. And I want you to keep a date with us on today's live on Equa Television, because Mondays we talk about work, Tuesdays we talk about life, Wednesdays we talk about relationship, Thursdays we talk about education, and Friday we talk about social media. And we know the prime dates for certain people, because people wait on a particular day to hear certain things. But believe me, all of these days are as important as the others. And if you can only keep a watch with us, we believe we have things that you can hear. Someone said something to me on the WhatsApp line, and I think it's something we should consider. She said we should start considering pidgin English. That is also because we are talking about street smart. That's the language that young people understand very well. They speak it. So we will pray about it and see if we can be mixing this English and that kind of way they talk smoke we try speak. I don't know how that sounds right now. So we are glad you watched us today. Thank you very much, everybody. The editor, the cameraman, the transmission guys, the other producers and staff of Equa Television. And most sincerely, we want to thank Equa Executive for giving us the opportunity to do this, keeping us on air, and Equa TV supporters as well. Thank you very much, Jemima, Joyce, Solomon Sambo Sabi, Prudence in Absential, and I am Engineer Tony J. Nakali. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Not a minute more, not a second less. 11 a.m. God bless you. Don't forget to stay out of trouble and be kind to one another. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Peace, y'all.